What is going on, guys? Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the park. We've got the Flight Test LED VersaWing. Obviously not using the LEDs today. They're turned off. I don't want to fry the ESC if I don't have to, as well as, of course, there's really gonna be no way to see those LEDs, so we'll have to come back, do a follow-up video with a night flight. Anyway, I'm really excited to get this underway. Of course, we got some wind, probably about 10-mile-per-hour winds out here coming from the north, and then this is just a rather underpowered wing with sluggish rates and one bad servo, and the CG is a little iffy, so it's a sketchy operation here, but I think she'll fly. It's nothing, revolutionary. It's just a wing, and I've flown plenty of wings before. I think I've got it kind of where I want it in terms of CG, but we'll see. It's a new plane, so that's kind of just what you get. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing strapped on my head, turn it on, and we'll get to the flight. Alright guys, so it's time to go ahead and get this thing up in the air. You can see we've got our servos working somewhat. They're both, at least somewhat responsive. I don't think the throws are exactly where I want them, more even to both sides. Of course, got our throttle there. There's not a lot of thrust up for grabs on this 8-inch prop. It's an 8x3/8, so it's not anything crazy, and it's actually a little bit off balance too, but hey, whatever. This is just a sketchy wing flight. Let's go ahead, get it up in the air. Okay, she flies. She feels a little bit. Oh, she is all over the place, that's for sure. There's no. I just want to get some altitude at this point. As you can see, she's just really unstable on that roll axis. Thankfully, no issues with pitch. I'm just trying to keep her stable and up in the air. We're gonna have to add some expo for sure on the roll. But hey, this thing is actually very, very smooth in terms of the throttle delivery, and it's cruising right here at around half throttle as well. So yeah, it's a big wing. It's handling the wind. As you'd probably expect something with so much surface area to do. It flies like a boat. Just turning it downwind is hard, and you have to restabilize it every time you turn back into the wind. So yeah, there is actually a good amount of throttle here. It's not really that quick, but I've been just cruising around at half throttle here. Since it is so windy, I'm not going to trim it out today. I think it's close enough for right now, but we need an absolutely windless evening or just day to go ahead and get my trims dialed in. But thankfully, both servos are somewhat operational. There's a full throttle pass, and I'm actually not too dissatisfied with that throttle speed. You can see it's still completely usable, and the name of the game here is not speed. It's just to have a really relaxing night flying plane. So hey, no complaints there in my book. It's an interesting plane. It doesn't fly like the Arrow does. It feels definitely a lot bigger, of course, and it takes a little bit more to turn it. But then when you're just going straight, like the initial, I want to say 25% of the stick on the roll axis is very sensitive, but then to actually get some large control input to actually turn it is a little bit more challenging. You can see we're just doing a counterclockwise pattern here, which is always good to kind of establish what you're going to do. The viewer, and me, you can see where I want this plane to go. We're just doing circles and around myself, or right in front of myself here. I'm just trying to get the plane where I want it to go. Wings aren't really known for tracking straight. There's a little bit of wobble in higher winds, but to combat that, I'm going to add a little bit more nose weight, I think, and that should help it there. But other than that, this thing is actually pretty relaxing to fly and pretty enjoyable. Again, just those rates are a little bit off, and adding about 30% expo on those elevons is going to help. A roll there. Roll rate's actually pretty impressive for how big this thing is, but it's nothing crazy compared to other planes that I have in my fleet. Well, something really surprising has happened. This thing is completely predictable now that it's up in the air. It's not, whatever I tell it to do, it's doing for me. Obviously not as smooth on my controls as it could be, but definitely very, very respectable, especially in this wind. Usually wings don't have a hard time with wind, but I'll give this one a pass because it's just so big. It's got the sound for sure, and it's actually not as loud as I thought it would be. The prop is awfully close to the back of the fuselage, and that's kind of the clap you're hearing. It's kind of like a prop and slot jet, which are some of the loudest RCs there really are, especially if you get a big beefy motor and a very high pitched prop. You can get some serious sound out of a prop and slot jet. But you know, this thing is pretty relaxing to fly overall. You know, that's kind of what I was going for here. So I'm really excited to see where this thing goes when we take it out for an evening flight, because it should be pretty easy to maintain orientation with this thing. But yeah, this does also have the non-ridged wings, so it's completely smoothed over. I went ahead and used the flight test technique that's used on some of their master series, where you remove one side of the paper, and then I just went ahead and molded the foam over top, rather than going ahead and doing what you normally do, which is just cutting those relief ridges in there. And so that really makes this thing just handle a lot better, and it looks really cool too. As well as I went ahead and modified my vertical stabilizers. They're a little bit smaller than they normally are, a little bit smaller, so that might be what's causing less stability there, but we'll see. I did it on my Arrow, and it seemed to fly pretty well after that. So yeah, no complaints there. Let's go ahead and circle it all the way around me here, right through the sun there, and just bring it in for a landing. Hopefully we can get this thing down without too much grass stain. Now I'm pretty sure you could fly this for a decent bit longer, but we're just gonna go ahead and keep it at that. Right in front of me, just like that. That was a kind of a plop of a landing. I probably could have reached out and grabbed it, but there we have it, guys. FT VersaWing. Hey, I'm pretty impressed. It's a fun plane to fly. It's not too bad overall, even in some wind, and I'm very happy with the overall flight characteristics, as they might appeal to night flying. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please go ahead and like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. That keeps me going, keeps me motivated to make these videos for you. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.